So Chris, Davey, and Mike went to school together, and they started off just like covering some like Blink 182 songs and shit. And then the drummer didn't work out, so I met them all. I'd had a hard time. They kind of found me on the streets and stuff, so they took me in. I kind of joined the band, doing some drumming and stuff. And I don't know, like 7 years later, here we find ourselves in a hotel in Paris and a sold-out show. So yeah, it's cool. It's a weird little story. We did some recordings and we didn't know what to do with them, so we sent them out like to like management and stuff like that, record labels, and also to like magazines and stuff. And it was just a weird way that we spoke to a manager who got back to us straight away, said they really liked them, and then she sent them to Metal Hammer magazine, who had already heard them and liked them, and then they jumped on it because we've just been given management, and then all the magazines jumped on it after Metal Hammer jumped on it, and it just kind of spiraled out of control within like a couple of weeks. It was like these demos that we did just to try and get some tours ended up getting us like national recognition in all these magazines and stuff. So it was just a few weeks like over one summer, which just ended up being crazy. We we recorded The Summoning, like we wrote it in like 2008, recorded it in 2009, and it wasn't released until 2011. So like by the time it was released, it was already 2 years old. So like with Savages, I mean, we've basically been writing it for 4 years, like on and off. And then we kind of took all the stuff we had and changed lots of parts of it to make it kind of more relevant to what we wanted to do. And then took it into a studio with a producer, and, you know, he had his way with it as well. So like something that came out that we actually wrote in 2008 then goes against something that we wrote and modified in 2012, 13. So it's kind of, it's like 4 years there really that like we sort of grew up and became better songwriters like in that time, where most bands would have released another album in between, but we just kind of, we did one, we toured it for like 3 or 4 years and did another, which is Savages. So like we've sort of missed out on an album, but it just means that the transition between Summoning and Savages is really noticeable and quite drastic. Oh, it was amazing, man. We sent him demos of every song that we had done for the album, and we kind of he had listened to them, and then we got to his studio. We went straight after a tour in the States, went straight to his studio, and we went through all the songs, and he kind of gave us input on what he liked and kind of what he would change, which wasn't much, but I mean, it was just nice to have somebody with his track record opinion and stuff on all the tracks and what we'd done. So yeah, it was awesome, man. It was nice to work with someone of that caliber. Yeah, that was like the second song. We wrote that one, and what was the other one? Stalker. Like kind of those two like next to each other, and those were like the first two that we wrote. So it was kind of like a few of us were going through certain things at that sort of time. It was kind of weird, like just lots of shit with girls basically. So it was like we started it off writing like that, and then we didn't want to write a whole album that would face like that at all. But it was just, I don't know, it was just getting something out of our systems, I think, that needed to be done, and then we could move on to writing the rest of the album. But yeah, it does stand out as being different because it sort of was. I mean, we were dealing with some not really heavy stuff, but it just kind of annoying fucking girly shit that we just had to get out of the way, and just like, you know, we were just a little bit angry at that point, and got it out of the way and kind of moved on to writing a better album. But yeah. Yeah, well, if you listen to it lyrically, it's quite a lot to do with like addiction and stuff. So it was, I don't know, it was just something we had to do to deal with some other shit. So it was, yeah, I mean, have you listened to like the lyrics of it of the song? Right. Okay. Well, yeah, it is different musically, but I mean, it was kind of like we've been listening to a lot of Eagles and stuff, and that at the time. But lyrically, was the reason we wrote it was just because we had a lot of kind of dealings with drug addiction and kind of alcohol dependency and stuff. So there was it was just a way of sort I don't know, kind of dealing with that, I guess. Oh, incredible! Like, especially at the shows on this tour. I mean, where we go on stage and all these kids that we've never met before are singing all our words back to us. I mean, people who don't even speak English really kind of still singing these songs that they've heard on the radio and like heard on TV and stuff. It's really humbling, man. It's cool. See, that is the question we get asked so much. Like, I don't understand where that comes from. I mean, like, other than the fact that we're both British and there's 4 members in each band, that I don't really see how, if you listen to Savages, what part of that sounds anything like Bullet For My Valentine? I mean, like, you know, other than the fact it's a rock band from the UK with 4 guys, but it doesn't sound like Bullet. You know, it just doesn't. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I like Bullet For Valentine. Like, they're a lot older than us. You know, we're still like kind of mid 20s, mid to young 20s. So like, we grew up listening and watching Bullet For My Valentine, as well as like older bands. You know, kind of when I was a kid, my mum and dad used to play me like kind of Kiss and Thin Lizzy and stuff. But Bullet was one of the first bands I started going to watch in concert. So they're an influence of ours, but not massively musically, more so the fact that the British band have done well. That's what we want to do. But yeah, I don't like people ask us that all the time. And on the new album, I get it on the first one, on the Summoning. There's parts of that do sound a little bit like Bullet For My Valentine, but not on Savages. Like, it just yeah. I don't think so. Like, we spent a while in America, so that went really well. It kind of works in our favor being English when we go to America, because they've got a lot of love for England over there and Britain generally. So like we do shows over there, and just by the way we talk and stuff, people like us and want to listen to us. So that's part of the battle already, just because people want to hear what we have to say. So they like the music. We kind of fall into that American radio rock style over there. They're called Nickelback sort of thing, Papa Roach style. So it's we're doing well in the States, and you know, like, the turnouts and like the fans that we've gained on this European tour right now, like it was really kind of it was unexpected. I mean, obviously the album must be doing quite well in Europe because a lot of people know it, and we see people with the album that they've already bought. They want it signed in like T-shirts they already own, so like, they haven't bought that stuff at the merch. That they're turning up to the shows with it already. So it's pretty incredible.